Okay, so first thing we have is a leaking sink. Possibility you could go in, replace the O-rings that are in here. We'd probably fix it, but this thing is in such bad shape, looks nasty. Went ahead and spent the money, and we're gonna go and replace the whole faucet. Okay, so under here what we have is our hot water, cold water supply lines, and they're in solid in copper. So what I gotta have is I gotta have a basin wrench to get that loose, because I want to shut off the water valves first. And you gotta be very careful with these things sometimes will leak, so you wanna, after you get done, you wanna make sure when you turn them back on that they're not leaking. And this one has 3 on here. I'll turn them all off just to be sure. This one here feeds a water fountain that they've put in on top. Sometimes these things don't hold, so hopefully they will. So what I gotta do is, this is the supply line for the cold, supply line for the hot, so I gotta take them loose here and here. And then the new faucet comes with new supply lines. And I believe these are gonna be long enough to reach the bottom of the cabinet. If not, I'll have to do some adapters, but we'll need a basin wrench with this right here. And I've got a flashlight. Okay, so also you need crescent wrench, maybe a pair of channel locks. And I forgot to bring a towel. An old towel usually is great when you unhook these lines. So I got some paper towels sticking there, because you take those lines loose right here, these, you're gonna get a lot of water. So I'll start doing that and come back. When you loosen these lines, you want to hold, get you something, grab the valve, hold it there before you start loosening it up. That way you don't spin it all the way down here. You could possibly make it loose where the supply comes through the floor or cabinet. You don't want that to happen, so you're gonna hold it against it while you loosen this nut up right here. Okay, so I got both of those loose, but I'm gonna finish that once I get the faucet loose up here. I want to make sure I get all that loose before I take everything loose down here, just in case I have a problem with getting these bolt nuts off with the basin wrench. Okay, this is how your basin wrench works. If I can get a picture of it up in here. It hooks onto that big nut there. You gotta turn it. It looks like the whole thing's turning, so we'll have to work. But that's basically how your basin wrench works. And it's reversible. You can tighten or loosen with the same thing. Okay, so this is what it looks like coming out. Good thing about soft copper is easy to bend with your hands. I had to bend all this, got it through, got it out, and need to clean it up a little bit before we put it back together. You can see it's been leaking for a while here. Okay, so we're ready for the new one. There's the base plate seal. And here's the new unit. All these hoses we can put down through the center hole. And then there's one of your bolts to support it. And there's another one that goes on this side here. I'll show you that. And this is how it looks before I tighten it up. I did not put any commerce putty underneath here. Directions does not call for it. You can if you want to, make it a little bit tighter. But there should be no water getting in there. If you've got a leak here, you need to fix the leak. And then you won't have to worry about water getting down underneath there. Nobody runs water straight on here, any normal person. So there shouldn't be any water getting underneath the counter anyway. But it'll be a nice tight fit here without the putty. So, but it's up to you. If you want to, go right ahead. Okay, so I got the mounting bracket there. And the nut on the sprayer head. This is a little bit of a pain because it's so light. So what you got to do is grab it on the top till you get this threaded on. Not threaded on, because all it does is want to push up and spin. And then when you get up a little bit, just stick your finger inside it like this and pull down on it, and you can spin it then. And also, you don't want to make it tight yet. It's kind of a little bit snug. You get up top. What I like to do is get up top and make sure it's centered good before I torque it down. Okay, so it's centered pretty good right now, and I'm gonna go underneath and torque it. I'll put my channel locks on there and just barely turn it a little bit just to torque it down. And then I'll come over here and tighten this one up. Just remember, the whole thing is plastic, so you don't want to over tighten anything. You just don't want it to move. You know, that's why some people use plumber's putty, because over time it'll harden up and it'll make it a little sticky and it won't move so much. So now I gotta hook up all the lines. Okay, so these supply lines are really great because they've got rubber in them, and you really don't want to over tighten them. Notice I'm not even backing it up because I don't want to put that much pressure on these things. So I'll tighten them a little bit right now, and then I will check them again when I turn the water on, and if I have to torque them down a little bit more, I will then. So what we'll do now is hook up the sprayer nozzle, which should plug right into there. Okay, so I stuck the sprayer nozzle hose down through, and this thing is, the way they package them, they're all kinked up. So you want to make sure those, when you hook it into here, that you're not wrapped around the hose or something like that. So when you pull up on it, you pull up on the sprayer, it has a nice smooth run without touching anything and binding on anything. So what we'll do is we'll keep it behind this supply line. In front of this supply line, it should be fine. So we got it hooked up. We'll pull up on it. It's pretty good. It's back in pretty well. Those things are so stiff coming out of the packaging. And that's how it looks. You see it kind of curls back up again, but see, it's free to go up without binding around something. It'll still pull out. Okay, so one last little note. Before you turn on the water, you always want to take off your strainer, aerator. Because if you don't, you'll regret it. Because see how fine these things are? When you turn them valves on, it loosens up garbage, trash, and it fills up those, and they don't work it anymore. So just take that set to the side. You gotta open, put the little gasket out of there. All right, so now I'll turn the water on slowly. Okay, cold water side. That's one of them. I usually try to open them all the way up because that backs it back up against the seal. I'm gonna move the paper towels out of here so I can see if there's any drips. Okay, so the cold water's on. I'll turn the hot water on. Oop, that one's leaking a little bit right there. That's the reason why I try to open it up all the way, so it stops that. Check those. Check it again. A little bit damp. I think that's residue. I'll keep an eye on that here for a minute. Alright, so the water's on, and we'll run the line. And here, just go slow because it'll pop a little bit. Full side, hot side, make sure you run it a little bit, get any trash that's in there out. Okay, check it. I don't see anything dripping, but I'll recheck it a couple times before I get out of here. But that looks good for that. Okay, so the spray nozzle, I did the same thing with it. I took the, well, it's not much of a filter. Not that much of a filter in it, but turn it on, let the water run. One thing to worry about that is the spray nozzle tips. They can get plugged up. This one's easy to fix. Okay, so I'm back down here rechecking, make sure there's no leaks. No leaks. I'm not going to mess with tightening them anymore. They're pretty snug now. I don't see any water dripping. But if it's your own home, I always come back and recheck again. Just to be absolutely sure, because if this stays damp right here, like this, if it stays wet, you got a problem. You need to get it fixed because it will rot out your cabinet. You don't want to do that. Okay, so work fine. Put the aerator back in. Hot work. Cold work, hot work. No leaks. Clean up and we're done.